Someone on Instagram recently asked me what I learned from my marriage, and there are still a lot of things I don't feel comfortable sharing online, but there are a few things I wish I had known before I got married. One of the biggest things was realizing that convenience isn't always worth the cost. When I got married, I agreed to live with my in laws. At the time, it made sense, and financially, it seemed smart. It was what a lot of people around me were doing, and I genuinely thought I could make it work. The mental and emotional toll that would eventually outweigh the convenience. Looking back, I think a lot of the problems in my marriage started there too. Not because living with family is always bad. I know plenty of people who make it work beautifully. But for me, it created an environment where I felt like I could not fully exist as myself. Another thing I learned is that some conversations need to stay between you and your spouse. Once family gets involved in every disagreement, every frustration, every argument, things just change. People don't forget. They form opinions. And sometimes those opinions become impossible to undo. Marriage is also supposed to be a partnership, and partnerships require compromise. They require difficult conversations. They require both people having a voice. If one person is constantly deciding how life is going to be, where you're going to live, how decisions are made, or what's best for the relationship, eventually it stops feeling like a partnership. It starts feeling like you're just along for the ride. And as a woman, it can be perceived as riding your man's coattails, which is not something you want to do. One of the hardest things for me was to admit that I wasn't really experiencing marriage the way I thought marriage was supposed to feel. There was so much secrecy. There were so many decisions that I wasn't fully included in. There were things I didn't know that looking back, I probably should have known, like my husband's annual income. And while I don't want to share every detail online, I can say that no one should be in a position where they feel like they have no say in their own life. The biggest lesson I learned wasn't even about love. It was about having a voice. Because marriage isn't about one person leading and the other person following. It's about building a future together. And if you're not allowed to help build it, then that's not considered a marriage to me.